right. Hello, everyone. Okay, so this is Tom from Fast Track at FBA, bringing you a YouTube live to help you with your questions. So drop your questions down below. What I'm just going to do is I'm just at home now for Christmas, so hence I'm kind of like, in the classic kind of YouTuber bedroom. And it is actually a bedroom. It's my sister's house, and there's a very high chance that my nephew is going to come running in the door any moment now. So if you hear a baby screaming in the background, please excuse me. That is him. So I'm just going to quickly check. If you've got any questions, do drop them down below. I'm just going to go check, and if anyone is anything going on, let me know. So let's have a quick look now. I'll go check on the Facebook and the YouTube. But if you guys have got questions, please drop them down below. Yeah, I can see we're live on the YouTube. So I'll give you a bit of an update on my Facebook. Let me check YouTube now, and we're also, what do we call it? Yeah, we're also live on the YouTube, so just check that out. But if you've got questions, drop them down below. I'm honestly here to help. And the aim of this session is to help you guys. Like, I can sit here and talk about me all day long, but I do think what we need to do is we need to help is about you. So if you've got questions, please ask me, drop them down below. Or even just here, just drop a hi. So you can be like, hi, it's Tom. It's like, hi, it's Tom. So let's see if that comes through. Just checking now. There you go. Look, there you go. Me asking myself a question. So if you guys are here, do drop a gig hi down below. I might just, oh my God, I'm actually going to get hot. So I'll go from the window. So if you want to know, let's give you a little bit of an update on my journey. We are super close, and I mean super close. We run the numbers. We're running the numbers for Christmas right now. Some nice little figures. Can I show them there? That is like 325 so far for this month to date, super close. At this rate, we're touch and go for hitting 1 million over Q4, which is our aim. But sales have definitely gone up. I will not deny that. So if you guys are here, let us know. Kobe Edwards, fantastic. Obviously, great to see you, Kobe. If there's any questions I can answer you with, do let us know. Just drop us down below, and thank you for joining. But while we're just waiting for questions, and guys, I'll stop talking about myself until the moment you start asking questions. So what I will say is so UK, and the reason is we've got the stock in. We've been ramping up spend on stock for a long time. We're now starting to see the sales really come through. It's really good. We did like 20K yesterday in one day. So super happy with that. USA, we just don't have the stock in. Why? We had slow problems with getting our stock out of the prep center. It's just been a bit of a nightmare. So it's been a real problem for us, and that's really affected. So I think like last month we did like 63,000. This month I think we might do like 30,000. So really not a good result so far. So Yasser has come in. Hi Yasser, great for joining. Let us know where you're calling from, but also questions. Drop questions down below. I'm here to help, honestly. Like at the end, I'm always like bang, really fast. If you guys have got questions, drop them in now. Honestly, I'll help you out. And the one thing which I will say is I'm at my sister's house right now, back home for Christmas. Done a drive around the UK, and very likely you're going to hear a baby, my 2-year-old nephew, running around, and likely he's going to come running in here. So if you do hear a baby and you like have to talk to some imaginary person here, I'm not going crazy. There is actually a child in the house. So but yeah, let me know questions down below. So for us, a couple of things we're doing this week, and I'll just kind of share it with you that might just kind of be thinking about is if you've got teams or yourself, outsourced, what I'd really recommend is we do it with our team is first things first. Do they know, or do you know what products you need to have sold before Christmas Day, i.e. Christmas related products? And what do I define? Have you got a list of ASINs? And also as well, do you know when they need to be clearing down by? And have you already checked the competitor stock on them? Just keep an eye on them up to every day. So you will know ones that need to be done by Christmas Day, and obviously anything done by Christmas. So that's really good. And then I think the next question is just really making sure that when you're sourcing now, you're always looking for Q1. Amazon doesn't stop. You will see sales even on Christmas Day itself and onwards, so do not worry. Like Q1, Q4, Q1 sales still happen, but obviously just not the same volume they do in the run up. And obviously if your product mix is very heavy toys, you're going to see a lot more in just before Christmas than you will after. But sales still happen in Q1, or as you say, January. February and March, or February is like quite the dire situation. So a couple of questions coming in now. Yasser said, I want to do wholesale on Amazon. Can you tell me about it? Top tip, Yasser. I'm going to tell you some things I know about it, but I'm going to share 2 names I think you really, or 3 actually, I think you should check out. Other YouTube channels I know. Amazon Lit. I've met them, really good. Watch Me Amazon. And I've not met him, but I do know him. check him out. He's really good as well. And then the final one is another guy called Todd Welch. I think he's called the Entrepreneur Resource. He's a wholesaler. I did a video with him. He's doing 4 million, I think, at the moment in the US. He's probably is a smaller level than the other guys. Amazon lit at 50 million, but they do know what they're talking about, and they are good people to follow. They're genuine, like they know this and they'll talk about it. So I'd recommend watching them. Long story short, is wholesale is you're just buying from wholesalers, distributed manufacturers, and shipping. If you want to know the top tip, the one thing that it's all about relationships, negotiating discounts, volume, capital. You need a lot of capital to do it. And where you want to be getting to is not just having products to supply, but you want to be getting exclusive distribution agreements. That is, I am the only person who can sell this pen, and if anyone else sells this pen, then the manufacturer will give them an IP complaint to get them off the listing, stop supplying them, and only I can sell them. That's where you want to get to. There is a next level, but I won't tell you that yet. Maybe another day. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. And that's, by the way, you just written in the USA. Agreed. Those three people, Amazon Lit, Watch Me Amazon, and Todd Welch, Entrepreneur Resource, they are all USA wholesalers. Do that. And if you're, I'm guessing if you're in the UK or something right now, you're going to need an LLC. So create an LLC out there. That's going to be super important. Yasser, let me know down in the comments below if that's answered your questions. That'd be really, really useful. If there's anything else I can help you with, I will. But I think that's kind of a very quick summary of it. I don't really do wholesale, but that's what I know. It's not too different. So Kobe Edwards just says, I was going to start Amazon or start FBA a couple of months ago, watched a couple of your videos and never ended up starting anything, but now I actually want to start properly. Do you have any advice for me starting? Yeah, honestly, it'll be this. Well, you are really common. Like what you said is really, really important. Top tip for you, I've got a 7-day course. I reckon for you is take that free 7-day course, fasttrackfba.com. Just take the free 7-day course. It just gives you like 4 videos a day to watch. Do that, and every day action it. So what do I mean by that? I mean, day 1, go and create a professional selling account. Day 2, you want to probably just go find some deals. Day 3 is maybe go buy some deals, and then day 4 is you're probably gonna have I hate to say it might be you get your identification checked on Amazon, and then day 5 you ship something in, and then it'll take a week, and then day 14 you got sold. My advice to you would be that you've got to get a sale. It doesn't matter if you're profitable or not, and I'm not sitting here saying we should be running unprofitable businesses, but what I think you should understand is that just taking action is the most important part. It's okay to buy a pen for £10 and then resell it for £10 and lose money on it for the one time, because what you're not doing is you might look at that as oh my god, I've just lost £4, for example, $4. I look at it as oh my god, I just spent $4 on a free education. That's the best $4 I've ever spent. So yes, in the long run, you want to be making profit and all those products, but the first 1 or 2 products, don't really worry. Just do the whole process. That's what I'd really, really recommend. Do the process, get it sold, buy it, resell it, ship it through, understand the whole model. You're going to fail at certain points. You might get an IP complaint, you might get a house, you might get stuff stranded in, you might not prep it right, and Amazon kicks up because maybe you haven't bundled it correctly. All these things happen. It's just part and parcel of selling on Amazon. All the rules that maybe you didn't realize. And I think for you, as the question is just doing it, and you can break, you not break the rules. Don't go buy legal fake stuff. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. So don't go buy secondhand stuff off eBay and sell it on Amazon free, brand new. If the margin's too high, probably a reason for that. So just question it, but just do the model. That's all I'd say. Really figure the model out, and I think you'd be in a really good place. So yeah, JFDI, take massive action. So Kobe Edwards, let me know in the comments down below if that is helpful. Yasser said in the USA, yes, I've already got that. So let's just kind of move on. Shekti, I'm really sorry, Mr. Walker. Walker, sorry. Hi, first of all, first time live chat. Hey, welcome, finally, welcome. The last time I thought it was actually live. It was live number 7 minutes later that it didn't come up in my notification. That's okay. Hey, it's okay. If you're if you're late, it doesn't matter. I do these exactly the same time every day, apart from not next week, the week after, I won't do one. Call you Chev. Fantastic. Thank you, Chef. Yeah, I do them every week. And the whole idea is I do a lot of videos, I do a lot of content, And what I'm really looking to do is I just want to give you guys the opportunity to ask me questions. And while I'm not going to sit there on my screen share and start showing you all the stuff, I can give you kind of like very quick, like do this, do this, do this is going to help you out. Whereas my videos are a bit more kind of like slower. So if you want to ask questions, I can help you. So do join. Always the same time every week, apart from 2 weeks. I'll move it because I'm flying back to the US. So share, fantastic. And thank you for joining. Honestly, any questions down below? Anyone got any questions, drop them down below. Let me know. Kobe Edwards, that was helpful. Thank you. And also, can I start with the 200? Kobe, you can start with like £50 if you want. The one thing you've got to be really mindful of is your Amazon selling fee is going to cost you £30 a month. So if we take, for example, it's going to take you, and this is for a bit of a slow case, should we say you're going to buy something, today. You might, because you're not moving very fast, you're figuring it out. You buy it, you ship it into Amazon, then you sell it, and then you get the money back. Because when you buy it, it takes maybe like a week, 2 weeks to get into your house, and another week to get into Amazon from you shipping it. Then maybe you take a while, maybe you take 2 months in Amazon, not the normal one. And then on the other end, it's 2 weeks once it's sold, should we say, for the money to come back in your bank account, plus 3 to 5 days. So let's call it 3 months. But if you're having to do 3 months of 3 months of Amazon seller fees at £30 a pop, that's £90 straight away. So when you're saying start with £200, without any other software, anything else, you're already paying £90 out before you've even made a profit. And then obviously you're going to have to buy something, even if you buy something for £100 and then resell it for, I don't know, and make £190 profit, you're only breaking even. So top tip for you, you can, it's not a problem. My advice would probably be like, if you can, try and get to 1,000. And I'm not saying you need to spend 1,000 today. I'm just saying, understand the process. The moment you understand the process and you feel comfortable, then you start investing in 1,000. The reason is because you'll get just the fees of running the Amazon account, even like software fees. Everyone like, you need this software, and that's like 20 quid a month. That's just going to add up. I think SaaS is the cheapest one. Seller Amp, do check it out. We use all of them, but it's the cheapest calculator that you're going to find. So try that one. So I hope that makes sense. Kobe, let me know in the comments down below if that makes sense. Like, I probably recommend probably about 1,000 minimum. Yes, you can do it for 200, so you can do 1,000 minimum. And if you get a calculator, SaaS is probably the cheapest one. Or use a free one. They all do a free one, so that helps. Chev has come back. My first question, this is my first Q4 and 1st of December, obviously. What should we expect in January? January is not too bad, actually. I was reading somewhere today, talk about wholesale. Amazon Lit say January is the 3rd best-selling month for most sellers, which is really interesting. Couple of good things for you. If you're doing like OA, which is what I do, what I really do is think about January is a great opportunity to buy. You've made loads of money in December. Buying is a good opportunity. February is a bit bad. But January is okay. The one top tip, and I'm just going to share to you, I would say continue as normal. Obviously, just be mindful that anything Christmas related isn't really going to sell in January. Top tip for you, and the one top tip I'd really, really recommend is while you're sourcing in December, on the Keeper chart, or if you're using like BuyBot Pro, SAS, or whatever, it has like, it shows you like a Keeper light graph, and you can extend the time. Always make sure you're going to a year. You should be doing it anyway, but I'll always look at a year. And when I look at the year of Keeper, you think like, today is December, tomorrow is January. I want to go back to last January. I want to see, did it sell last January? And I might even go lifetime because I want to see what changed from December to January and to see, do I think it's going to happen again this year? That's going to be my estimation. So I'd really, really recommend doing that. My top advice. And then in regards to January, there's a lot of money to be made. You can buy a lot of products. And also the other one is just that, it's not as sales volumes for like toys aren't really as high. But things like your sports equipment, health and beauty, health and personal care, people want to get fit. They've eaten too much over December, so that can really help out. Also DIY if we're going into lockdown as well. I don't think we will, but that's the whole point. I think for you, January is pretty good. I don't mind January. February is a challenge, but hey, let me know down below if that's more important. So is this my first Q4? Sales fall off? No, they don't fall off the cliff at all. You'll get sales on Christmas Day. You'll get sales on New Year's Eve. Like someone will be at home buying on the stroke of midnight. You're like, what are you doing, mate? It does happen. So yeah, I think that's it. You'll be fine. They don't drop off the cliff. If anything, if you want to know, I think we did the sales chart for last year. I think I shared it once in like, it went from like 50,000 down to 40,000. So it's not even off the cliff. It's like the same. So don't worry about it. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. I'm only just starting to see my first month's profit after months of selling, but I'm not sure if there's a better. Is my process better or just crazy to themselves? Probably a bit of both. Probably a bit of both. Top tip for you is you know, if I share a statistic with you that we looked at, more than we surveyed Fast Track FBA sellers in the group. About 100 people replied, and they said, "How long was it taking to you to take a salary payment from your business?" More than 50% said longer than 12 months. So it means they're doing their Amazon business for 12 months before they take their first salary payment. Why do I tell you that? Because, well, you obviously got to make money, a profit in the business before you can take a salary. But not only that, you don't want to be making like £200 profit today and then taking £200 salary from the business, because your business still isn't growing because all the money it's making you're now losing. So you've got to make more money. So what does that mean? Well, it means that, you know, most people, for them to be able to get to a point they can take salary and the business can continue to grow is 12 months. So don't worry, like, this business takes time. It is a cash hog. It eats money. You know, I've been running my US business now for 7 months. I think we're in month 7 now. We've done 160,000 revenue or something. Not taking a penny, not planning to. Admittedly, I don't need to, but on the other hand, is like, I want to keep reinvesting because I know that I want to keep growing that business. So I hope that makes sense. Don't worry, it's absolutely fine. And also, keep improving your processes, keep improving your sales. It's all about spend, spend, spend. The more stock you've got, honestly, we spend like 100,000 a week. You know, that's the reason why we're getting sales. Loving it has come in, and thank you, by the way, good question. Loving it, thanks for joining. Hi, Tom. Is Amazon USA requesting from sellers to provide insurance information? Yes, we do. We use, if you want to know, you can go to, we use Ashley Hamilton or something. I'll just give you 2 seconds. I'll have a quick look. I'll see if I can find it for you. We've got it internally. Not the actual insurance itself, but it did come through. Yeah, we used, it's like an Ashley something. You'll know, I've actually met the girl. I've met her in an event once. Ashley. I'll see if I can find it. 2 seconds. No, I'm not very good at this. Can I search there? I'm just having a quick look. No, I can't find it. It's Amazon Insurance. There's something called Amazon Insurance Ashley. Ashlyn Haddon, sorry, Ashlyn Haddon. That's who we've done. Yeah, I've actually met the girl. She does pretty much all the insurance. She's a broker, so you know, it's not directly with her. She'll broker it, but that does work. And long story short is they sort it out. There are 2 others that you can do in the US, and if you go to like Amazon Seller Central, because I think it's like Marketplace or like Seller Apps or Seller Services, you can find the other 2. So don't worry, they are there. But we did try and get in contact with them. They're just really poor. Whereas Ashlyn actually got back to you pretty quick. So I think we paid about 500 US for the year, which is fine. So I hope that makes sense, Loving it. Let me know in the comments down below. And by the way, the quick thing is we're not outside the US. We're an LLC within the US. I'm outside the US, but my LLC is. So if you do want me to, let me know if you're outside the US. That'd be good. I might be able to, if there is, I might be able to point you in the right direction of where to ask. So yeah. Chev has come back. Yeah, I'm OA. Thanks for that. I've been going back to Jan to compare. Yeah, smart. Honestly, really, really well done. That's all you need to do. Just go back to Jan and you'll find it. Yeah, go back to Jan. Look at January figures and you'll find. Guys, if you've got questions, drop me down below. Honestly, I spend this hour talking to you. I can really pad out the questions if you want, but I'd rather get through them quicker and hopefully answer them. Yes, sir. When I ship the same product in one box at Amazon, can I just do box label and don't do item labels? You need to do 2 things. So a couple of things. Number one, whenever you're doing any products shipping to Amazon, you can do what's known as manufacturer barcode or Amazon SKU. I'm trying to look for a product and I don't have anything here at all. So obviously when you have like a manufacturer barcode, my phone, if it has like a manufacturer barcode, you know, like it's like coffee, you could just use that. That's absolutely fine. You don't need to put another label on top. It's got a barcode. That's called commingling. There are pros and cons to it. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to go through the pros and cons of each. But commingling, yes, you don't need to put a sticker on it. Now, if you're going to do Amazon barcode, i.e. create your own FN SKU, with your barcode, you then put your sticker over the top. So that's your label. Now, the other option you can do is you can ship in for Amazon barcode, but not barcode itself, and then Amazon will do the barcoding for you. It is a couple of pence more, it's like 5 cents or something, or 5 pence per sticker. Just be mindful of that. Also, not saying that it's going to be any good, because they're not saying they stick on the stickers any better or anything, but you can do that. You just label the box and pay Amazon to put stickers on them. The one thing which I will say is, if you do use that service and you're trying to and you want to send some in whereby Amazon barcode and some you've already barcoded yourself, Amazon will split them, because anything that they need to barcode has to go in separate boxes. So you will get split shipments. Just be aware of that. But I hope that makes sense. If you want me to go through commingling and Amazon stickers, Amazon labeling, I can. There's pros and cons to both of them. So that's whether using the manufacturer barcode and the one on the product already, or using your own barcode and covering up the manufacturer barcode. Let me know if you want me to go through that. I hope that makes sense. Guys, if you've got questions, do drop it down below. We've got a couple of questions in already, which has been really, really helpful. I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to take off my jumper. I'm getting really hot in here, so 2 seconds. I'm just going to read here. So here we go. 1 second. Right, I'm back. Thanks, guys. Sorry, just so many layers on. Not used to it. Mexico's a lot cooler. So JG0922. What a username. Love that one. Rolls off the tongue. I'm only joking. Thanks for joining, by the way, and great question. What did you do before? What about FBA was so appealing to you? The freedom to make money anywhere, anytime. I'll give you the most abbreviated history ever. There's a couple of videos that I've done around it. They're more interviews. I don't really talk too much about myself. Studied electronic engineering, dropped out. University in Reading. Then I went into bar management, worked for a company called Volca Revolution. I was a general manager. I got promoted up. Should we say I worked really hard. And I learned about like budgets, managing people. Some of the bars were doing a couple of million, so it was really good. And then what else? And then I went into bowling alleys. I wanted more hours. I wanted better hours. Bars were notoriously late night. And then I wanted to get out of the whole industry. I was just like, I'm done with this. So I went into recruitment for a year and a half. I learned how to source for IT candidates. So I'm a LinkedIn certified recruiter, which is where I learned to source, and I really enjoyed that. And then what was the final one? And then I moved to London, and I learned about procurement, actually, with my sister's fiance, boyfriend at the time. He taught me about procurement, and I created my first procurement company in the UK. And then I shut that down. I wasn't interested at all. I just realized I hated it. So I did it for a year, shut it down, and then started my Amazon business, probably ran it for about a year. And at the time I was in London with my girlfriend for 6 years. And when we broke up, my mate said to me, and the reason is I always ran the Amazon business remotely, because she said we were always planning to leave London and go to another part of the country. So I always had to be online. So as the net result was, my friend said to me, you should go to a beach in Thailand, just take a month out. And I did, never came back, and carried on building it. So I really like it. I think it's great. And do you know what the irony is? And I say it to everyone, is I started my Amazon business because I didn't want to have to deal with customers. But then since starting your own business and growing it, you're like, it's so boring. There's like no human interaction. So hence why it's nice to do Fast Track FBA and interact with people. But I hope that makes sense. And hey, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy freedom anytime, anywhere, but also it has its negatives. Guys, if you've got questions, do drop them down below. I'm not here to really talk about me. I want to help you in your Amazon businesses. Sorry about this light's really annoying. There we go. Let me know if you've got questions down below. So we've had a couple come through. You are probably thinking now, like Q4, Q1, what should you be doing? Well, obviously, my top tip, and I said at the beginning, I'll say it again now, is the fact that you need to really be thinking about just making sure that any stock that needs to be sold is sold before Christmas, and then any stock that you need to get sold before the end of December is identified and sold before then. My top tip then would be, like, coming into January, there's still amazing opportunities to buy. Interesting enough, the one thing I kind of really pick up in January is a lot of people are looking for or finding products in January which sell really well in like summer. And what do I mean by that? Well, what they generally do is if they're not like me, I'm really high volume turnover. They're like just one man, but they got like storage space, so they'll go buy like tents, rubber dinghies, all these kind of things which are on massive discount during winter, hold them, and in summer they're just tripling, quadrupling their money because they get them so cheap in January. So top tip there. Muslim Tours has come in. Muslim Tours, how did you work with the US prep center in regards to ungating? I know prep centers don't like holding stock in a long time. The ungating waiting periods can be tedious. Great question, really, really great question. I know what you mean, because you're actually saying when you get the invoice, you then submit, and obviously now waiting for Amazon to come back to you to ungate. Long story short, we never had that problem. The reason why we never had that problem is because we never went down the wholesale route of ungating. We just got the revenue up and good auto ungating. So I think long story short is have a conversation with your prep center, keep them informed, keep them aware of like, hey, what you can't do is you can't like, hey, I want a prep center, ship them one item, wait. No, it's got to be like, I've got a prep center, we're shipping, like 50 different ASINs, and then one of those ASINs we're waiting for ungating. So they've still got they've still got volume, you're still a valuable customer. Remember, this is a two-way process. So I think for you is conversation, communication super key. This light's really annoying. Communication is like super key. And then also as well is making sure that you're doing volume as well. And I think also just checking in with them, like, hey, I know, it might be like sometimes is to say, there's two options. People kind of say, ask permission first. You could say, hey, we want to buy this product. Can you hold it? They might say no. So I'd probably ask for forgiveness first. Hi, yeah, we bought this product. We're getting it ungated. Amazon have been really quick in the past. Unfortunately, it's just taking too much longer. It's taking a really long time. Any chance you can hold it for a bit longer, and then be very grateful and apologetic for the situation. Again, asking for forgiveness, but make sure you're still doing the volume so you're a valuable customer and they can see it. But then also when you're asking them to hold, say, really important product for us because it means we're going to increase our volumes, which means more prep for you. So sell them on the positives of them saying, yes, I'm happy to wait. But again, it's all, it's relationships. I don't deny, very tedious. Just work with your prep center, communicate. Hope that makes sense. Guys, if you've got questions, drop me down below. Obviously, I'm here to help. So, Chev has said, since everyone is shy, I'll fire my questions. Fantastic. That's why they're here. As I love to talk and most importantly, learn. Fantastic. I'm in the UK, but I'm not I'm sure most questions answered will be relevant. Yeah, fine. Yeah, just fire. Hey, guys, fire questions. I have an hour with you, and if you want to use it, not a problem. And I always say to people, if you've got questions, yeah, you can come ask. Just ask. Come prepared. There's so many people out there who just offer their time. If you want to do an hour coaching call with me, and I'm not saying, I'm worth it, but this is what I value my time at. It's £230, and most people come back to me. That's like nearly $300. My maths is right. But most people come back, and most people go, can I have coaching? And I'm like, you can. It's really expensive, but come to my YouTube live. You can have it for free for an hour. And they don't show up. So I'm like, nah, that's okay. But I like doing this. I'm happy to do this. So just be mindful. Ask questions. Let me know down below. Obviously, I am here. Adam has said, I will watch later. Hope you are well. Thanks for all your work and help. No problem. So yeah, really good. Thank you for joining. I'm glad I can help as well. I'm just back in the UK, managing my temperature levels. Right, Mr. Facebook user said, when, or unknown Facebook user, could be a Mrs., don't know. When did you know when to pour on the Amazon loan to accelerate? Ooh. So I think two questions is, I talked about this in one of my loan videos. Number one, you can't guarantee you're going to get a loan, but when you do, you've probably got about 30 days to make a decision. So for us, we were always looking to ramp up towards the end of Q1. And ironically, we were looking to move into wholesale. So what did we do? We hired 3 sourcing VAs for our sourcing. And we had 4 at the time, so we hired an additional 3. I know we probably overhired, but obviously the loan hit us at the right time, or the offer. So what did we do? We just said, look, the question is when you've got a loan offer, it's generally, can I prep enough? Can I find enough deals to spend it? And do I have the money? So, well, you've just been given a lot more money. Can your prep center handle it? Probably. If you're prepping yourself, it's going to be a real challenge. And then the deals is like, well, we just hired 3 more sources. So I was like, go to town. And what happened is every time we got an Amazon loan, we'd already forecasted to, should we say we'd hired 3 sources to do wholesale, and then the Amazon loan offer came in. We're like, well, let's just use these 3 sources for the loan offer, grow that business, and then we'll hire 2 more for or 1 more, for example, for the wholesale, because then we'll just move some people around. And then what happened is they offered again and again and again. So timing worked really well for us. I'll never deny that. But I think also as well, the idea is that you've got to, you've got to be thinking about the future is better for you. And so much you can do in regards to cash flow. Like, if you want to be really, Amazon loans, you can't guarantee them, but like credit cards, overdrafts, business loans, you can even do things like payability. I do a cash flow sheet and just manage your cash flow better. That makes sense. We have charge cards. I've just got an Amex Platinum, which I'm really happy with. There's a lot. So just be mindful. Like, there is a lot you can do, and you can even like take a friend loan from your friend if you want to scale. So that's the point. But I hope that makes sense. Let me know down below, Facebook user. So Chev has said, Tom, your video with Kev was really good. My biggest takeaway was to learn the business model before going deep. I started with a big budget and was making big mistakes that were being, yeah, I know the feeling. My God, I was the same as you. It's okay. Like, thank you for the feedback. And I think for you, there's two things. Number one, well done for understanding that, you made mistakes. It's absolutely fine. And I think number two is the fact that understand that because of you got. Here's the thing, and I said to people, we talk about Amazon loans. Facebook user just talked about it. Then, whether it be Amazon loans, whether it be VAs, they're called leverage. They're tools to leverage, people or money. And the problem you get is if you are making mistakes and you throw fire, should we say, or leverage, then you leverage a mistake. So that's why I always say to people, like, just learn the model first, learn how it works, make sure you're profitable. I'm not saying you weren't profitable or that, but it might be elements of the model you weren't doing as well. So doing it small is super important, and then you can grow it big. You can probably hear a screaming child in the background. That's my nephew. He's probably like, Uncle Tom, can I come in? Like, he can actually open the door himself. So if someone comes running in and I start looking that way, that's why. So Chev, I hope that makes sense. But thank you for the feedback. I took a step back, learned the process. What's your biggest tip for anyone with a big budget? Let's say, for example, it depends what you mean, like a big budget. Like, I get really scared right now. It's very interesting when you look at like our Amazon stock. I think at cost it's over £250,000 at cost in Amazon right now, not on the way, not in the warehouse. It's like just in Amazon's warehouses right now. And you got to think why? Well, because we'll probably do 500,000 in sales this month, like 400. Let's call it 400,000. So you need a lot of stock in there to make it happen. And I think the question is, the biggest step is try and make it work on a small level. And then generally you'll have three things, and it'll always be the same couple of three things. It's always like, I think three things. Let me check. Money will be a problem at some point in your business. Getting more loans, getting more money, that's fine. That's fuel on the fire. Then number two is about spending the money, and that is about team, finding deals, doing the logistics, the prep centers, etc., etc. And then the final one, which always think about, is me. Like, how busy am I? So I'm always about, I hate to say it, I'm always about getting me out of the business. And while it might look like I'm super lazy, it's been the biggest driver of success in our business. And why do I say that? Because it's about me getting out of the operational aspect of the business and looking at it very objectively and going, and really going, what are we trying to achieve? Like, very, very simplifying it, making it, that is what we want to do. Let's do that and nothing else. And then spotting where the team do something wrong. So, it depends how big your budget is, but I think really understanding the model, doing it on a micro level first, testing it. Like, we're moving into wholesale, so we're going to say, look, just do wholesale with like £2,000 or £3,000, fine. Once we get that right, then we can grow. We can throw 10, 20, £30,000 on it. But first of all, let's just get the model right. Let's understand the drivers and the SOPs, and then we're okay. So Chev, I hope that makes sense. So I've been rattling on. Let me know in the comments down below. And guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. Honestly, I'm here to help. So English with me. Hey, English with me. Got my first order. Woohoo! Well done. But it's still an open order on my app, and it turned from grey to orange, yet the funds are not available and has the shipment. I can't tell if the shipment arrived to the customer. So I don't even really know. Like, I think other people might let you know. I'm really bad at this. So grey, I believe, is still pending. Orange means it's now been shipped, so it's confirmed. The moment they click buy, it's a pending order until it gets shipped from Amazon's warehouse. And then I believe it goes orange, which means it's confirmed. And once it arrives at the customer, 2 weeks from that day, it now becomes available for you to withdraw. It doesn't mean it will be withdrawn, but it'll become available to withdraw. And then the next time you make the withdrawal, or 2 weeks, you'll then get it 3 to 5 days after. So I hate to say it, English with me, It's a slow process. It's like regularly we have over £100,000 just sat in that kind of waiting for 2 weeks after the customer's purchase. It's like, I could grow my business so much faster with this. So that's one thing to think about. But I think for you is, well done. You got the first order. Hey, it's all right. This thing's really is annoying sometimes, but you will get there. Well done. Really, really well done. J Products. Hi, Tom. I look forward to these live chats every week. They're so helpful for us new sellers. When do you suggest hiring a VA? Cool. Hey, J Products. Thanks for joining. Obviously, great question. Generally speaking, we say £4,000 spare cash every week. I'd probably say you want to have about 10 if you want to be ideal. What do I mean by that? Let's just define it. So every week you're doing your process as normal. And then every week, maybe when you finish on a Friday, you look at your bank account and there's still £4,000 sat there, or $5,000. Ideally, you want to get that to 10. If you've got that much money for a good couple of weeks left in your bank account, then you're ready. But if you're kind of spending all that money, I don't think you should. And the reason is quite simply is that you've got to take that £4,000 or £10,000, basically spend it on the deals that the VA is finding you, ship those deals to Amazon, get them sold, wait the 2 weeks, get the money back in the bank account, and then pay the VA and repeat the whole process again. It takes time. So minimum 4, recommend about 10. Hope that makes sense, J Products. Let me know down in the comments below. Facebook user has, how much stagnant stock do you have in Amazon? I'm finding for every 10 deals, 3 to 4 will price crash, but there's no telling which ones. Do you just accept this and incorporate into spending more and thus require more capital? Great question. So I can give you a stat. Stay there. I'll show you some stats. I'll not show you some stats. I'll tell you some stats. Let me load them up. So this is my ops report, UK, because Alex, I know you are the anonymous Facebook user. I've seen the next question, but let's kind of talk about inventory. So my inventory. So if you want to know right now, I'm going to give you some numbers. So if I add up 0 to 90 days, we currently have 11,600 units in stock. 90 days plus 310. So when you talk about stagnant stock, the 90-day plus is there, but as a percentage, 310 of 11,000. Let's do that. 310 divided by 11,000 days. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm even making any profit off that stock or anything. It's probably those 90-day ones we're going to be making big losses on, but you can see that roughly 2% of my stock is over 90 days. Now, let's give you one more stat because I know you love stats. So we break that 0 to 90 day down further, and we talk about 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90. Now I'll give you one more stat, which is that 60 to 90 right now is at an all-time high, and I've never seen it this high before. So out of the 11,000 units that we've got in 0 to 90 days, of those 11,000, 820 of them are between 60 and 90 days old. So again, you're probably looking at like 4 or 5% top of my head math there. So generally speaking, not very long. And the one thing which I really think about for us is we accept prices are going to crash. And it is, we are selling at a market rate. So, this is for us, and the way we do the model, it's a very much a volume game. But you might, there's a lot of people who do buy today, hold it in the warehouse for 2 months and then ship it in once it's all crashed and cleared up again. And if you've got external storage, you can do that. There's so many different ways to do this model, and I've seen so many amazing things. So we're really, for us, it's really about volume, and not holding for a long time and churn. So I hope that makes sense. And we just accept that, the question is when you think about this business is you've got 2 options. You really have. I'm going to buy a product today and I'm going to take option 1. I'm going to sell it for 30% ROI or whatever ROI or more. That's it. And I will not sell it until I achieve my target ROI. Now that could be 1 day, 2 days, 1 year, for example. But that is it. I have my target profit I want to make. That is what I sell it at. Then the other option is I buy my product today and I will sell it at whatever the market is selling at. That's it. Now you can do it anywhere in between. So like I will sell it at my target ROI. I'll try to set my target ROI for 2 weeks. Then if not, I'll reduce it down, etc. But that's really it. You've only really got 2 options. You don't really get to control the market. You either wait for the market to recover to the price you're happy with, or you sell it at the market rate. That's it. There's no real variation in that. So hence why for us it's like I think we try and maintain a certain margin for a certain while, and then after that we're like, it's not going to recover. clear it down, get rid of it, even if we take a loss. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, and it does require capital to do that. And it's a trading game, it's a volume game. Hey, Alex. Nice to see you. Facebook, anonymous Facebook user. Great question, by the way. English with me. They have something called Pay Me button. You get it every 24 hours. English with me. You are right. On here, you click the Pay Me button. Fantastic. But the quick thing you don't get to do is you still have to wait. So the day it sells, so the product sold to the customer today, you've got to wait 2 weeks. Now, if you only sold, let's put it this way. If you only had one product, shipped it in today, sold it tomorrow, cool. And sold it tomorrow, cool, and you click that Pay Me button, you'd get nothing. You'd have to wait 2 weeks, 14 days is the holding period, before you clicking the Pay Me button and you get the money come out. You don't get it the day after or on the day of the sale. You still have to wait the 14 days. Now, what normally happens if you just had one item, shipped it in today, sold tomorrow, then you wait 14 weeks, and then it would become available, eligible for disbursement, and then it would happen on your next disbursement run, which generally happens once every 2 weeks. So just be mindful of that. Also, when you get the disbursement run or you click the Pay Me button, you still have to wait 3 to 5 days for Amazon to actually ship the money to your account. Wonderful, aren't they? Definitely not earning any interest on that. But great question. Shiva says, Tom, at what point were you able to what point were you able to see real velocity? Meaning, yeah, I can see this is working. I can simply scale from where I am today. If you ask me, I think it's all about mindset and about probably where you're focusing. If I had to really define it, it was a year and a half ago. I was doing about 30K, I think it was 35K, and it was when we started the £1 million challenge, and we really focused and head down, and we've just seen it explode. I wanted to do the £1 million of revenue in 18 months, and we did it in 11, which was incredible. And now in the last we've really broken 2 million for this year to date in pounds. So, don't get me wrong, pardon me, even if you're working on like a 10% model, let's call it 35,000. Well, that's still only 3,500 per month. And by the way, 35,000 is, we talk about the model. It takes you buy something today, ship it to Amazon, wait a month. It takes 2 months to ship to your house and then to Amazon. Wait for a month for it to sell, and then 2 weeks to clear out. That's a 2-week turnaround. Well, 35,000 sales, you're generally buying for half the price and selling. You need about 35 grand's worth of cash, and you're making 3.5 grand every month off it, which is a 10% return on your ROI of your cash, which is okay. You're like, my God, that's like 120% per year. I know I'm just throwing numbers around. I'm not sure if you're keeping track with me, but one thing you've got to realize is that there are a lot of better businesses out there that make a lot more money, but you have to do a lot more work. In Amazon, if you think about it, it's really not a hard business. Buy Lego, sell it, see what happens. That's it. There is, the real question I have to ask, you have to ask ourselves as sellers is like, what's the value we bring? The value we bring is bringing products to market that other people can't get at probably a cheaper price, so we can sell them at market price. And generally, most arbitrage sellers they'll bring like the Playmobiles and stuff like that. But if you're bringing really unique products to market, sure, you're going to get the ROI on that because people really want that, limited edition that you can't get hold of. But if you're just doing general ARB, like vanilla, like what I do, it's just a velocity game. It really is, because unfortunately we don't really bring much value to the show, and hence, supply and demand, anyone can do it, and everyone does. So it becomes a volume game. Per unit, it's not very much. But once you scale, honestly, some really good things. And if I just kind of throw it there, it's like, you might right now be looking at the model and being like, no, it's not, that great. But this isn't about today. It's about when you've grown. And even, Luke Filer, he posted his numbers the other day. He'd worked 1 hour a week. He did 700K. He reckoned he did 80K net profits or gross profits. He reckons he's going to net out about 50K. But that's £50,000 for 2 hours worth a week. And he's going to get extra bonuses on top of that, like cash backs and Avios points and stuff like that. My God, like, I don't know anywhere else you can not really do. You can build a system today, not really do much for a year, and still earn £50,000 with an outsourced team. After everything, that's incredible. So just be mindful. Like for me, my God, I added up all my Avios points the other day. We have £10,000 in Avios points alone. And obviously I operate at a slightly different level, but that's incredible. But hey, that makes sense. Laurie Jane Cowdag. What repricer tool are you using? SDK. We used to use Repricer Express or repricer.com. It's good, no problem with it, but we just like SDK. It's all integrated into one, so I really like that. So I think that's what we use. It's cool. They're all just rules. They all do rules. I quite like it. I like automations. That really helps. Hope that makes sense. Alex Rignall. So your idea of a stagnant is 3+ months. How do you break down 90 days or less than 90 days further? We have a way of doing it. How we do it, I'm not 100% sure. I think we download the SKU inventory report and then take the date of the SKU creation, and we'll either categorize it as 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90, and then work out the cash value. Is that? Oh no, we're counting the units. We're doing units. So we'll do the number of units who within that bracket, and then we'll add them all up. So we do it every week. I think that's the way we do it. The team know how to do it, but it was a year and a half ago that I created that, so they do it all now. But it will be part of the VA Academy admin course, because all of this metrics that we do are going to be part of that. So just be mindful. So Alex said, I thought about going super wide and buying a max of five any deal. We lose out on potential profit, but we wouldn't be left with stock. The idea would be to ride the price down, be out of stock before break even. Yeah, you can do. I know people who do that. They go super wide. Then, Emily Knowles does it. Over in Spider Sourcing, she does super wide. She talks about it like gets 900 products, 900 different ASINs, go super wide, only a couple in each. They only sell 1 or 2 or 3 a month. That's all you're looking for. You can, but we've got like 900 products, and some of them are super fast selling. We can't hold enough stock. Again, it's up to you, and I think for you is it just look. The one thing which I'd say is, because I know you've got teams, is definitely play, play with different things, but do like pick a model, pick it like here's what we do. This is what we do. That's cool. Give it to your team and then do it. But also, it's okay on the side to play with different models or figure out different models and then to change it. But what I'd really recommend is not kind of one to the other. Is just kind of really define it, run it for 6 months, see what happens. Maybe look at what other people are doing and change from there. It's at the end of the day, sometimes it's okay to be left with stock and go below break even. My God, if you want a stat, I'm going to scare you with a stat. Here you go. Seller toolkit. Let's do this. Oh my God, I don't think I'm going to really like this. Orders. Let's do orders. And can I do? I have not a clue. So I'm just going to do. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to like this. It's probably going to be a scary number. It's actually quite a good number to play with. 2 seconds. I'm just trying to see something. Seller toolkit, see if it will show it to me. Waiting. I want to see, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see how many of my products are loss making. Because this is the question you're trying to ask. How many products do we have to sell at a loss? Seller toolkit's crashing. It's still spinning. It's not going anywhere. It's been running now since I clicked the button. Let me have a look. I'll see if I can find out, but it's just not running at all. Don't get me wrong, I've done 100. It's got 110,000 orders on the database, so it's quite a lot. I don't know if I can change the time. Or can I change my date range? Let me just do kind of December. See if I can do that. December, submit. Okay, cool. Okay, I might be able to. It's getting a bit smaller now. Okay, fine. And oh no, I think I've got a little nephew coming in now. And let me just do all. So, and can I just do all from here to here? Submit. Okay, so cool. So if you want to know, we did 12,000 orders this month to date. 12,000 orders this month to date. 300, roughly 300 of them are loss making. So 300 divided by 12,000. You're looking at 2.5% of the deals we're buying are loss making. That kind of gives you a bit of an idea of like, and I'd probably say that might be on the low side because of the market. I'd probably expect to see it more like 4%. And the reason why I say that is because whenever I talk about the model, you look at the model as a whole, you always say like you buy 10 deals, 1 is super good, 5 or 6 are like as expected, 2 break even, then 1 loses. So you'd be expecting about 10%. So maybe a bit lower. So, I think that's probably on a bit 2.5. It's probably on the lower because Christmas and the prices have come up, and that's just in December. So, I'm expecting about 10% of my products to be loss making. That's how I model it. And actually we're achieving, call it about 5, for example. I could go back, but I hope that makes sense. Let's go to English with me. Why do Amazon never update the shipment plan? And it is common for delays for Christmas period. They do update the shipment plan. It just takes time. They're not the fastest people in the world. They've got quite a lot of customers to deal with. And by the way, they don't treat anyone else any differently. I did speak to a lot of big sellers, and they're like, no. Interesting. If you're talking about delays for the Christmas period, I don't think there are. I really don't. I've seen horrendous delays in Amazon previous years. For the last 2 years, they've been really good, really, really good. I've even seen posts this year. Someone shipped something today, it was checked in tomorrow. It's like, wow, literally shipped today, UPS collected, tomorrow checked in, all complete. It's within 48 hours, which is incredible given the volume that they're doing. So you might get the odd one, but I don't think there are that many days. And is it common? No, I don't. Right now, they're really good. They're on fire. Amazon will learn. They know this. Muslim Tours. What have you noticed from Amazon USA that's different to Amazon UK as a seller? Sales tax. It's easier to do taxation in the US. Sales tax is annoying if you're outside of sales tax area. I think the only other couple of things are they're a lot more hotter on fraudulent card use, so i.e. when the IP addresses don't match up the way you're trying to buy from. Also as well, shipping to somewhere not the billing address, they're a lot more hotter on. They cancel a lot more orders, and things just take longer. To be honest, if you ask me, it's not really that much different. The only thing which I will say is the margins are higher. We are seeing a higher margin, but we do operate a slightly different model, very slightly different. We're a bit more. My team in the US aren't as aggressive as my team in the UK in regards to spending all the money. So because we have more money, so we've had to get a lot more. I'm not saying aggressive in pricing and how we do that. It's just okay, cool. We wouldn't normally buy 15%, but we've got loads of money. Let's get it bought. We need to do that. So that kind of makes sense. But we just see higher margin, but that could just be for the very nature of the product and the team, what we're buying. But that's my thoughts. Just things to also take a bit longer. It's a longer product. It's a longer delivery time. So let's move on. Xavier. Hi there. Hey there. Guys, I've got 8 minutes. Any final questions, let me know down below. I've given you some quite interesting insights, I think, today. What did we talk about? We talked about 8 minutes. Any questions, let me know down below. I'm here to help. Also, I've got 8 minutes to help you out. So let's just clarify. Number one, we talked a bit about, Alex has asked some great questions around the model, business, losses, what's going on, stagnant stock, break even changing business models. I liked that. So Alex, some really good questions there. Honestly, thank you. And I think it's really interesting. I never really think about the business that way. I understand the fundamental model, should we say, but what I don't look at is I don't really compare the model too much unless we're struggling. But we are doing some work, and if you want to know, I will just share it with you. I've got a meeting tomorrow with my team. I'm working 4 hours tomorrow. I know, it's oh my God, it's just one meeting, 4 hours we scheduled for it. Now, the aim of that meeting is what I've identified over the last year is that over the last couple of months, we're doing a really good job of spending all the money. That's one of the metrics we really look at. So now the next question is, how can we spend all the money and make more profit? So we've got a very efficient team. They're very, very good. And, even sometimes they'll be Thursday, spent all the money, Tom, we're done. So very, very interesting. So the next question is, how do we evolve from just trying to grow revenue through spend, but now try and continue to maintain high revenue, but also maximize profitability. So we've got some really good things I've been researching, learning, talking about that we're going to try and look at implementing and research over the next 6 or 3 months, we say, to really try and drive the margin up. And also, if I just kind of let you into one of them, one is not even just so much about not just so much about when you're purchasing, it's even about stock control. One of the things we notice is that when we do our stock control on zero, i.e. opening and closing stocks, it doesn't always match up with Seller's Toolkit, which is our P&L software. Why? Because stocks just go missing, things happen, and we need to account for that. Seller Toolkit, unfortunately, doesn't account for that because it doesn't take open and closing stocks, i.e. if someone steals something, you don't really know. So that isn't recorded in any Amazon report. So we need to make sure that all that is accounted for. And that's where one area we're looking at, trying to improve margin. So that's a point that we're looking at into next year, and I want to do that. Another point, which is really interesting, I will just share with you, and let me know if you're interested in it at all, is I don't know if you ever follow me personally. Recently, I flew back from Mexico to the UK, and I'll fly back to Mexico. First class return. I was very happy. I loved it. Never done it before in my life, and I felt blessed. It cost me £562. First class return, direct, BA, £562. That was incredible. Plus Avios points. Now, what I'm really interested in is actually going like, my God, at the time I've just traveled the whole UK living off Avios points in hotels. And what I'm there is about how is there a way that I can maybe use the Avios points, those bonuses, Amex points, to have a better quality of life, nicer holidays, those things, but maximize them. I did spend a lot of the hotels I did recently, didn't really make very much. It didn't make economic sense. I could have done it better, but I'm really looking at how can I maximize that as well. And that's kind of like running an Amazon business makes money, great, but also as well having a better quality of life from it, which you can, like better holidays, better flights, for example, better travel. How can you do that with these bonuses? And that's something that I'm really interested in. So if you want to know more about that, let me know. I'll release some videos about it and what I'm learning. But really, I think today is, if I just kind of summarize, because you guys haven't got any questions, you're finishing, we'll kind of wrap it up. So long story short, right now, if you are into Q4 and you're wondering what to do, just make sure you've identified and clearly defined when you need to clear down stock for Q4, i.e. Christmas, what needs to be sold and when. 25th isn't the date it needs to be cleared by, it's like the 23rd. So on the 23rd, you need to be super aggressive with that repricer. Get it down, get it cleared, get it sold. If you can't, if it's like something that won't sell after Christmas, get it sold. It's not worth it. You can't hold it for another year. It's going to cost you a fortune. Also, same thing for anything before December. Understand that. Now, the other thing which I really recommend is looking at January, looking at creating, look at when you're buying now, does it sell in January? That's what you're looking for. Amazon doesn't shut, it still exists. And the other thing you've got to really think about is, I really recommend it for you. Do it now, whether you've got a team or not. Like, go away, put some time in your calendar and be like, right, we're planning out the next year. Someone asked me the question, like, at what point were you able to see real velocity? Meaning, yeah, I can see it's working. I can simply scale from where I am. Admittedly, we were doing 35k a month, which is good money. It might seem really scary, but I was pretty lazy up to that point, if that makes sense. We probably sat at 20k for quite a long time, way longer than we needed to. And the interesting thing is that when we reached that point, I just got serious. I was like, right, we're doing 1 million. We're going to push this. We're going to make it work. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to be doing that. So I hope that that's going to kind of help out. So make a plan. January, put it in the diary. Talk to your team. Talk to yourself. Talk to another Amazon seller. Network together. Write a plan. Hold yourself accountable. Make that happen. That's my thought bits. So Alex has come back. Probably the last question for today. Yes, interested. I'm looking at the same thing. USS is great, but with only seeing profit on deals, so I find stock and just sitting is not so efficient spend. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like, the USS is fantastic, and we use it. There's another whole layer to. It's not the USS. It's kind of our administration sheet. It will be part of the admin VA course. It's how I oversee the whole business and what I look at. And it's not so much about it's about all the other bits that you don't really see. And USS is sourcing related. The rest of it is about management of the entire operation. And again, it's for my model, but I need to really just think about how do we model that sheet in regards to different types of models. So there's probably like 75 data points we collect every week, and we track the change of them over time. And understanding what you need to be looking at when and what means what, that's quite an important point. So there'll be a lot of conversations around that, a lot of videos, but that'll be part of the admin VA course. But yeah, that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming up to the 4 o'clock time for me now in the UK. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you for joining me. I am here same time next week. And the week after, it'll be on Tuesday because I'm back in Mexico. That's if they let me back in. And obviously, if you've got any questions, do let me know, here next week, same time. But from me, Thomas Parkinson, Fast Track FBA, and all you guys, have a great Christmas. Smash it. I want to see some great numbers being shared. And you know what, honestly, come back and ask me questions and obviously see how we can help you grow in 2022. But for myself, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.